Well, hello there, I'm Sakura, from SakurAnime of course, and as you may or may not know, I'm usually a person that has a very different take on things, and it's for that reason that I like to give my opinion on anime that I watch, because it's always nice to have an opinion that's not the same as literally every opinion on my anime list. Now, a few days ago, I sat down and watched an anime called Sakurasou no Pet na Kanojo, also known as the pet girl of Sakurasou. To summarize the story a little bit, Kanda is a boy that ends up having to live at Sakurasou. This is the dorm where all the problem children of his school go to, and he's a bit different from all the students in Sakurasou, not because he's different, but because all of the other students at Sakurasou are different and he's pretty normal. Now, he's managed to actually find his place in Sakurasou, but one day a new girl arrives at Sakurasou. In comes our main female character of Sakurasou no Pet na Kanojo, Shina Mashiro. The thing about Shina is she doesn't really know how to take care of herself. She doesn't even know how to dress herself. Now, this duty of waking up, dressing and making breakfast and washing Mashiro all gets shoved onto our main character, Kanda. It's because of this that Kanda and Shina now have to live together, basically as a pet and her master. It's because of that reason that the show is called Sakurasou no Pet na Kanojo. Now, I could go ahead and talk about the music and the visuals and all of that stuff, but there's so many different reviews that already talk about that, so I'll just go ahead and talk about the things that I find interesting, that I find good, and that I find bad about Sakurasou no Pet na Kanojo. Now, before we start this look into this anime, I would like to note that while most 24 episode anime are divided into two halves, like both halves have a different opening and a different ending, here with Sakurasou, this is even more notable just because there's a lot that the first half does wrong that the second half fixes. Let me go into a bit of detail about that. Let's start off with something that you see every episode, 12 episodes long, or 24 episodes long actually, the opening and the ending. The thing about the opening and the ending for the first half of Sakurasou is that they're incredibly generic for this romantic comedy type of anime. And this might be my opinion, like all of this is my opinion, of course, it's a review, but I just think they're incredibly generic for this kind of anime, just because they're kind of melodramatic, I guess. They talk about love and all of that stuff, and they're just, you hear them in every anime like this. That's the thing that I like about Toradora's opening, is that it's, or at least Toradora's first opening, is that it's really different from the normal type of romantic comedy opening. And the same goes for the ending of Sakurasou. It's incredibly typical for a romantic comedy anime, and it's just, considering that I watched Toradora and I love that anime and I love its first opening, because I watched Toradora, I just don't like seeing the normal, generic type of romantic comedy openings. And that's probably just me nitpicking, but it's, like I said, I'm not talking about the audio, the music, the visuals, or anything. It's just what I think is bad and what I think is good about Sakurasou. Now, the opening and the endings aren't really my biggest problem with the first half of Sakurasou no Pet na Kanojo. It's more two characters that make episode 3 to episode 8 just incredibly frustrating and painful to watch. Those characters are Nanami, this is a friend of Kanda, a school friend who ends up having to live at Sakurasou herself because of money troubles, and Yuko, who is Kanda's little sister. Let's start with Nanami. The thing about Nanami is that she is just your typical, your average tsundere bitch, and she's even worse than a normal tsundere, in that not only is she a tsundere, but she's also incredibly on top of things in these episodes. She starts off by taking over Mashiro duty, which is taking care of Shina Mashiro, our main female character, the one that can take care of herself. But she handles Mashiro duty in such a way that it becomes annoying to watch. Like things that you've gotten pretty used to after 2 episodes for seeing, like Mashiro sleeping in the same bed as Kanda, or getting dressed up, or Kanda folding Shina's laundry. All of those things Nanami takes over, and Shina doesn't really get it because of course she doesn't get a lot of things, so she still goes to Kanda with her laundry and everything. And every time she ends up in Kanda's room, or whenever she interacts with Kanda for Mashiro duty, Nanami bursts in and acts almost like the most annoying type of mom that you can have. Like imagine a mom that doesn't allow you to do anything that she doesn't like. That's the type of character that Nanami is between episode 3 and episode 8. She's just really frustrating and really annoying to watch, and it made it incredibly hard to keep watching Sakurasou through these episodes, just because I didn't want to watch Nanami take over something that I expected to be a big part of the show. So I also was incredibly happy when Nanami stopped taking over Mashiro duty from Kanda, and Kanda had to take care of Mashiro again, because that's what I wanted, that's what I expected was going to happen. And when it didn't happen, it just made it really frustrating for me, because I expected a boy taking care of a girl that couldn't take care of herself. And from episode 3 to episode 8, what I got was this girl who stopped that from happening, and it was just really frustrating for me. But that's enough about Nanami, because before I get frustrated again. Let's talk about a different character that's also just incredibly annoying to me, and that's Yuko, Kanda's little sister. The thing about Yuko is she's a little sister character, and it's not that because I don't mind little sister characters, I don't mind Imoto characters. I watched Ore no Imoto ga Konani Kawaii wa Kikanai, also known as Ore Imo, also known as My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. So I don't mind Imoto characters, they're fine by me, but it's just that Yuko is the type of little sister that's just incredibly clingy and incredibly obsessive and possessive about her big brother, about Kanda in this case. And the reason why that's so annoying to me is just because it stops the plot from progressing, in my opinion. Whenever someone makes a move on Kanda, or whenever there's some kind of romantic or maybe little bit fan servicey thing to happen, Yuko is there to ruin that, and I don't like that. I just don't like this character that's there to stop things from happening the way they should. It's almost like she's an antagonist, but then you have to remember she's Kanda's little sister, and she's portrayed in this way that she's supposed to be cute and supposed to have this big brother complex. But it's just incredibly frustrating for me because the plot just doesn't move whenever she interrupts Kanda and either Mashiro or Nanami, because those are the 2 main love interests of this show. And whenever something happens between those 2, she's there to ruin that and just frustrates me. And I was so happy because Yuko only shows up for 2 episodes, I think. I was so happy when Yuko disappeared again, when she left again, when she fucked right off for the rest of the first half of the series, because she wasn't there to ruin the romantic moments again, to ruin the fan service, and to be this annoying, clingy little sister that's there to pander to the Imoto and to the little sister fans of the anime community, but did nothing else except that. Because, if you ask me, that's all Yuko was and nothing else. And it just frustrated the hell out of me. Now, all I've done for the last 13 minutes or so is talk bad about Sakurasou, and to be fair, Sakurasou doesn't, except for episode 2 to episode 3, till episode 8, because those are the episodes that Nanami and Yuko are very prominent. Sakurasou doesn't deserve that much talking bad about, because I have to admit, it might be one of my favorite romance comedy anime that I've ever watched. And it's not because of this first half, because the majority of it I just don't like because of 2 characters pretty much. But the second half fixes almost every mistake that the first half makes in terms of story, in terms of characters, even in terms of the opening and the ending. The opening of the second part of Sakurasou is still pretty generic, but it's got a bit more of a dramatic vibe to me, and that always works with me. It's just personal preference. I guess it's not that much different, but it just works better in my opinion than the first opening. I just like it better. And the second ending is the same thing pretty much, I have to admit. I just like it more than the first ending, and yeah. But the story of the second half, like the story of Sakurasou between the first and the second half, progresses from the story that's supposed to be about a girl that can't take care of herself, doesn't know how to do anything, doesn't understand anything about the world, and the boy taking care of that girl, to a story about the same girl, about Mashiro, who now experiences the feeling of love for the first time and has no idea how to deal with that feeling. Like, she starts feeling heartache, she starts feeling this butterflies in her stomach feeling. She starts feeling all these things that she's never felt before, just because she's never been in love before. And it's just incredibly nice and heartwarming, and also sad at times, and it's just incredibly fun to watch Mashiro deal with this feeling and basically just be in love for the first time. And the way that this weird girl that never experienced anything, never knew how to do anything, experiences love for the first time. And I just like how that story progresses from the comedy aspect of this girl can't do shit and this guy has to take care of her, to this girl is in love and she doesn't know what to do. And it's for that reason that I like the story of Sakurasou so much. Other things, except for then the openings and the endings and the story, which was great for both parts, except then the first part, Nanami and Yuko kind of ruining it for me. It's also worth to mention that in the second half of Sakurasou, Nanami becomes less of a tsundere bitch like in the first half of the anime. She actually becomes a pretty tolerable character, and while not the most interesting character in my opinion, she's actually a pretty normal character for a romance comedy in my opinion. She isn't as bad, or not bad at all maybe, I don't really know, as she was in the first half of the anime. That being said, Yuko does return, and in the episode that she returns, she's still the same insufferable little shit that she was in the first half. Another thing is then, because of how Nanami and Yuko made it incredibly hard for me to watch the show, I never felt a lot of emotions except frustration and partially happiness and laughing at times, because the show was still pretty funny at times, even though it was aggravating to watch. The second part and the romance and the drama aspect coming more to the surface, it got me emotional at times, I have to admit. Like, the first part never really got me emotional, never really got me a bit sad or angry at an event, but the second part really got me emotional, and episode 23 actually got me in tears, I have to admit. That's something that after the first half I would have never expected from this show, because in the first half it never managed to do that. And that second half, and episode 23 in particular, did manage to do that, and I just love that. There's one last thing I have to say about this anime, and that is that I don't know if the reviews tell you that, because I haven't read a lot of the reviews, but the ending you get in the anime for Sakurasou isn't the true ending. And for me, an ending in an anime is very important, because an anime can get ruined or made perfect with the ending. An anime that doesn't have a good ending, to me, feels like I just wasted 6 hours of my life watching this anime for a really crap ending, and that gets me angry. Meanwhile, an anime that's been great all along and has a great ending makes me really happy. And an anime that has been shit the whole way long, I won't even see the ending, because I'll probably drop that shit harder than the bass on a Skrillex song. But the ending of Sakurasou isn't the true ending, and that's kind of annoying to me, because in a romance anime I like to see the main character end up with someone, because to me that's kind of the whole objective of a romance anime, is see happy endings for couples and for people in love, and that's what I want from my romance anime. And that's not what I got from the ending of Sakurasou no Pet Nakanojo. There might be spoilers for the ending here, so click away if you don't want the ending to be spoiled. The thing about the ending is that it's very open actually. Main character doesn't end up with Mashiro or Nanami, and that doesn't feel right to me. That's not what a romance anime should be, as I already said earlier in the video. The ending leans a bit more towards Mashiro, but it's not at the point that you would can be 100% sure that Kanda will end up with Mashiro. Like, there's still a possibility, and a pretty good possibility actually, that Kanda will end up with Nanami. And if you want the real ending, the true ending to Sakurasou, you have to read the light novel. And I could talk about the real ending and if it's good or bad ending, but that wouldn't be talking about the anime or reviewing the anime anymore. That would be talking about the ending of Sakurasou no Pet Nakanojo, and I'll leave that for a different video because I actually have some things to say about the ending, because it's a good ending in my opinion, but it doesn't seem like a good ending to a lot of other people, and I don't really see why other people don't think it's a good ending or why they didn't expect that ending, but that's for a different video. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. This was my first review, and like I said, it's not the same as the reviews on my anime list or other anime reviews on YouTube, because I'm just a person that sees things different sometimes, and I just like to point out the things that I see different from other people that watch the same anime as me, because it's always nice to see a different view on something than what the majority of the people see. That being said, this was only a review, this was only my opinion. Other reviews, other opinions are only that, they're only other people's opinions. And what I always say is that if you really want to know if an anime is something that you might like, don't watch reviews or don't only trust reviews, but actually watch a few episodes of the anime, and then you'll see if you would actually like the anime, because then you actually get to experience the anime yourself instead of only trusting the words of someone else. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed this review, leave a dislike if you didn't. Don't base your likes and dislikes off of your opinion, because this is my opinion. Voice your opinion in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.